Chapter 1. Why most business books fail you and what to look for. If you've ever walked into a bookstore or scrolled through Amazon looking for business books, you've likely been overwhelmed by the sheer volume. There are thousands of titles, each claiming to hold the secret formula to success. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most business books won't make you rich. I've read 997 of them. I can confidently say that the majority are either bloated, repetitive, or painfully vague. Many of these books are just repackaged ideas you've heard 100 times. They include endless stories that pad out what could have been a 10-page PDF. They promote outdated strategies that were relevant a decade ago but have lost their edge in today's fast-paced digital economy. And worst of all, they often give you information without transformation, meaning they fill your brain with theory but don't change your behavior or outcomes, the illusion of progress. Through reading business books can be deceiving. You feel productive, engaged, maybe even a bit inspired. You highlight quotes, nod along, and think, this is it. This will change everything. But then what happens? Nothing. Because information without action is useless. You don't need more motivation or more tips. What you need is a filter to know which books are worth your time, and more importantly, how to use them to actually create wealth. The 80/20ths of business books Pareto's principle applies here too. 20% of the books provide 80% of the real value. After nearly 1,000 books, I've learned how to identify which ones fall into that top 20% and how to extract insights from them quickly. My littering criteria to make this list of 40 books, I use strict filters. Actionable. Can I take something from this book and implement it today? Scalable thinking. Does it teach me how to create systems, not just hustle harder? Mindset shifting. Did it alter how I think about time, money, value, and opportunity? Tactical and strategic. Does it provide both big picture vision and in-the-trenches tactics? Timeless or hyper-relevant? Is it either an enduring classic or something extremely useful in today's world? How to read like a wealthy person. Rich people read differently. They read to solve problems, build systems, or develop leverage. They don't read for entertainment. They don't read 300 pages if the lesson can be learned in 3. Instead, skim for frameworks. Sci-light for implementation read. For master apply immediately, and that's what I want for you. This guide isn't just a book list. It's a wealth-building strategy wrapped in paper. Let's get into the 40 books that actually matter. Chapter. Life-changing books that rewired my mindset about money before you earn your first million. You need to think like a millionaire. That means undoing decades of conditioning around money, worth, and work. These 10 books reshaped how I view value creation, wealth building, and personal growth. They reprogrammed my internal software. They can do the same for you. 1. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is the OG mindset book. While many dismiss it for being too simplistic, that's also its genius. Key lessons. The rich by assets. The poor by liabilities. School teaches you to be an employee. Wealth comes from entrepreneurship and investment. Why it matters. It introduces the concept of financial independence in a way that's accessible to everyone. What to do. Start tracking your expenses. Categorize them into assets and liabilities. Build your asset column. 2. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Money isn't math, it's behavior. Key lessons. Wealth is what you don't see. Doing well with money has little to do with intelligence and a lot to do with temperament. Why it matters. Understanding your emotional biases helps you make better investment and business decisions. What to do. Identify your money scripts, the stories you tell yourself about wealth. Reframe them. 3. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Success isn't a result. It's a system. Key lessons. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system's. Small habits compound into big results. Why it matters. Wealth is built one decision at a time. What to do. Set up tiny habits that align with your financial goals, like saving $5 a day, reading 10 pages a day. 4. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Classic for a reason. Key lessons. Burning desire plus Definite purpose equals financial success. Thoughts are things. Your internal belief system dictates your results. Why it matters? It teaches you to visualize success and pursue it with relentless energy. What to do? Write a definite statement of purpose. Read it daily. 5. The Millionaire Fastlane by M.J. DeMarco. This one attacks the slow and steady path. Key lessons. Trading time for money is a dead end. True wealth comes from scalable, controllable income. Why it matters? It exposes the lies of traditional financial advice. What to do? Shift from consumer to producer. Build something once that pays you forever. 6. Deep Work by Cal Newporton. A distracted world. Focus is profit. Key lessons. Shallow work equals low value. Deep work equals high value. Your ability to focus is a competitive advantage. Why it matters? Success comes to those who can concentrate longer than others. What to do? Schedule 2-hour deep work blocks. No phone. No notifications. 7. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant Naval is a modern philosopher of wealth. Key lessons. Wealth equals assets that earn while you sleep. Learn to build and sell. Everything else is secondary. Why it matters? It condenses modern wealth building into a few key principles. What to do? Focus on building specific knowledge. Create content, code, or capital. Point 8. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. Key lessons. You're capable of 40% more than you think. Suffering is the path to growth. Why? It matters. Resilience is the unspoken requirement of entrepreneurship. What to do? Embrace the suck. Choose hard things daily. 9. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Sexist is boring, but consistent. Key lessons. Small daily disciplines equals massive results. Over time, most people give up too soon. Why it matters? It gives you a long-term mindset for wealth. What to do? Track small wins.
Celebrate momentum, not milestones.
Tenure. Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin. Money is life energy. Key lessons. Every dollar you spend costs hours of your life. Financial independence isn't just retirement. It's freedom. Why it matters. Redefines wealth beyond just dollars. What to do? Create a life energy budget. Spend intentionally. Chapter 3:15 Tactical books that will teach you how to build wealth. This chapter is about getting your hands dirty. Once your mindset is aligned with success, the next step is action building, selling, scaling. These 15 books are your tactical toolkit. They'll help you launch businesses, grow revenue, master sales, and structure your operations like a pro. Let's dive deep into these high ROI resources. 1. The Lean Startup by Eric Rice's book revolutionized how entrepreneurs build. Instead of crafting the perfect product behind closed doors, Rice advocates for launching early, gathering feedback, and iterating fast. Key lessons. Start small. Iterate fast. Use a build, measure, learn loop to evolve your product. Why it matters. It prevents wasted years building something no one wants. What to do. Build a minimum viable product MVP and test it in the market now. 2. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss Dawson. Teach productivity. He redefines work altogether. Key lessons. Automate. Everything that doesn't require you outsource to virtual assistants. Why it matters. Time is the most limited currency. Ferriss shows you how to buy it back. What to do? Identify repetitive tasks and systematize or outsource them today. 3. The $100 Startup by Chris Guillebeau. Proof that you don't need funding to launch a business. Key lessons. Turn passion into profit with tiny launches. Focus on value, not perfection. Why it matters. Removes the excuse of I need capital to start. What to do. Package a skill into a paid offering and get your first $100 customer. 4. Influence by Robert Cialdini. Sales equals persuasion. Key lessons. People are influenced by reciprocity, scarcity, authority, consistency, liking, and social proof. Why it matters. If you can't sell, you can't survive. What to do. Apply 3 principles to your landing page or sales call. 5.com. Secrets by Russell Brunson, a masterclass in digital marketing. Key lessons, funnels, beat websites, sell with storytelling and sequences, why it matters, converts clicks into customers. What to do? Build a basic funnel with email sequences using free tools like MailerLite.6. Made to stick by Chip and Dan Heath. Your ideas won't spread unless they're sticky. Key lessons. Use simplicity, unexpectedness, credibility, emotion. Why it matters. You're always pitching. Make it memorable. What to do. Rewrite your offer using the SUCCES's model. 7. Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan Kim and Renee Ma Bergnevoid. Competition. Create new markets. Key lessons. Compete on value innovation, not price. Find a blue ocean, an uncontested market space. Why it matters. Competing is exhausting. Creating is energizing. What to do. Identify what your industry overlooks and build it. 8. The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. Small business owners are stuck doing everything themselves. Key lessons. Be the entrepreneur, not just the technician. Build systems so your business runs without you. Why it matters. Without systems, you own a job, not a business. What to do? Document one core process and delegate it. Point 9. By then build by Walker. To build starting from scratch is optional. Key lessons. You can buy existing businesses and scale them. Why it matters. Buying a profitable business reduces risk. What to do? Explore business marketplaces like MicroAcquire or Flippa. 10. Profit First by Mike McCollicher's new is vanity. Profit is sanity. Key lessons. Pay yourself first. Reverse engineer your expenses from your desired profit. Why it matters. Keeps your business lean and focused. What to do. Set up separate accounts for profit, tax, and expenses. 11. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Negotiation is a life skill. Key lessons. Use tactical empathy. Silence is a weapon. Why it matters. Every deal can swing based on how you negotiate. What to do. Practice mirroring and labeling in your next call. 12. The 1-0X Rule by Grant Cardone. Think bigger. Act bigger. Key lessons. Most goals fail because they're too small. Massive action solves most problems. Why it matters. Small thinking leads to small checks. What to do. Set a 1-0X goal and map out a week of action. 13. The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. Startup Life isn't a highlight reel. Key lessons. There are no perfect decisions. Lead with honesty in hard times. Why it matters. Shows the raw reality of leadership. What to do. Build decision-making resilience with brutal truth. 14. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. The Nike story in all its gritty detail. Key lessons. Growth comes from risk. It's not safety. Why it matters. Real entrepreneurship is messy and emotional. What to do? Embrace chaos. Keep moving. 15. Company of One by Paul Jarvis. Bigger isn't always better. Key lessons. Build for freedom, not headcount. Sustainability greater than scale. Why it matters. Profitability matters more than appearing big. What to do. Audit your biz for simplicity and impact. Chapter 4:15. Wealth building books that teach you to scale and sustain. Sexio built momentum. Now scale, now sustain. These final 15 books teach long-term thinking, smart leadership, and how to avoid burnout while growing your empire. Point 1. Good to Great by Jim Collins. Key lessons. Level 5 leadership builds lasting greatness. The hedgehog concept focuses on what you do best. Why it matters. Helps you move from decent to dominant. What to do. Identify your hedgehog. Concept Point 2. Built to Last by Jim Collins and Jerry I. Peroski Lessons. Visionary companies preserve core values and drive progress. Why it matters? Builds resilience into your organization. What to do? Define your company's core ideology. 3021 by Peter. Thelke Lessons. Competition is for losers. Innovation beats iteration. Why it matters. Teaches monopoly mindset. What to do. Pursue a unique, defensible niche. For principles. By Ray Dalioki Lessons. Radical transparency plus idea meritocracy equals truth-driven growth. Why it matters? Scales decision-making across teams. What to do. Create decision principles. 5. Who Not How by Don Sullivan Key Lessons. Stop asking how do I do this. Start asking who can do this. Why it matters. Leverage others to scale faster. What to do. Delegate one task this week. 6. Clockwork by Mike Galaki Lessons. Design your business to run itself. Why it matters. Enables freedom while growing. What to do. Identify your business queen B-roll QBR. Point 7. Start with why. By Simon Sinek Lessons. People buy why you do it, not what you do. Why it matters? Inspires team and customer loyalty. What to do. Write your why and infuse it into your brand. 8. Essentialism by Greg McKeown. Key lessons, do less. Better focus is the ultimate growth lever. Why it matters. Cuts distraction, boosts ROI. What to do? Eliminate one non-essential task today. 9. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Key lessons. Success equals talent plus timing plus 10,000 hours. Why it matters. Context matters as much as hustle. What to do. Reflect on your unique advantage. 10. How to win. Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Key lessons. People want to feel important. Make them why it matters. People skills equals business fuel. What to do. Practice one principle in your next interaction. 11. Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. Key lessons. Curated tactics from top performers. Why it matters. Shortcuts from giants save you years. What to do. Apply one tool from a Titan this week. 12. Venture. Deals by Brad Feldke. Lessons. Know what you're signing in VC agreements. Why it matters. Text your equity and IP. What to do. Learn the basics of term sheets. 13. The Art of War by Sun. Suki Lessons. All business is strategy. Why it matters. Timeless wisdom for modern conflict. What to do. Study. Competitors like battlefields. 14. Grit by Angela Duckworth. Key lessons. Passion plus. Perseverance equals long-term greatness. Why it matters. Grit outlasts genius. What to do. Set a 3-year goal. Stick to it. Point 15. The One Thing by Gary Keller. Key lessons. Focus on the one thing that makes everything else easier. Why it matters. Laser focus drives exponential results. What to do. Identify your one thing. Prioritize it daily. These 40 books are a distillation of a lifetime of learning. You don't need to read 997 books, just master these, apply their lessons, and watch your wealth compound.